Are you ready?
I am.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Pause, stop, cut. Take your glasses off.
Oh, sorry. What up? My name is Nick. I play for Dunedain in Iron City Hogs, and I play a lot of Speedball and Woodsball.
Good intro. So, you mentioned that you play for both Dunedain and Iron City Hogs.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. When did you officially become part of Iron City Hogs?
After MSXL.
They officially brought you on?
Yeah, I have my jersey coming.
Good job.
So I'm on 2 teams.
Awesome.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
I mean, it's nice to play Woodsball sometimes because it's more relaxed, but Speedball is more my speed because I have ADHD. So I always need to be doing something and running around and all that fun stuff. So that's why I like Speedball a lot more.
When did you first play?
When I first played paintball, like ever, I was probably 7. So whichever year that was. I'm not good at math. Officially, I've been playing for 5 years. So I started back in like 2014, and well, 4 years. So 4.5 years.
When you say officially, what does that mean?
Officially means playing more often instead of like the one time I did.
So more consistent like
Yeah,
that.
more consistent.
Was that Woodsball, Speedball, or?
It was everything.
Everything?
Yeah, it was like way back whenever paintball was like real big, where they had like a bunch of hyperball and a bunch of airball fields with the pea gravel, and it was pretty cool as much as I remember, but we mainly did Woodsball.
How good were you when you were 7?
I don't even know. I probably sucked ass.
I can picture cute little hot Coco being 7, running around with his little paintball gun.
No, after that I didn't play at all, because my dad doesn't like guns and all that, and he didn't want me playing that because it's expensive, and I don't know, my dad's a little weird about that stuff. But after I got my first job and I started playing paintball again, and I got my first actual real gun, was a mini just a mini Empire Mini, and so I started playing at 3 Rivers Paintball, and after that it just went on from there, and I played almost every weekend as much as I could with money wise and girl stuff.
Of course.
Yeah. It was definitely after my uncle took me out to play paintball back in 2014 was whenever I fell in love with it, like actually fell in love with it. Like I liked the sport whenever I started, or when I first played, I would always just watch YouTube videos of paintball and just different stuff, and then once my uncle took me out playing in 2014, that's whenever I really fell in love with it, because I was older, I knew what to do, somewhat knew what to do. So after that, I fell in love with it.
So you mentioned watching paintball.
Mm-hmm.
Do you watch just professional, or do you watch YouTube videos of random people, or what? Do you watch all of the above?
I watch pretty much anything paintball. So I would watch, what's his name? Hidden Hedgehog. I watch him a lot. I still watch him. But recently I've been watching a lot of like Speedball edits of different events like EPL, MSXL, like the NXL pros and all that, just to see how, because I'm kind of learning and watching what they do. So that's where I get most of my...
So mostly you watch just Speedball now?
Yeah.
You don't watch a lot of Woodsball anymore?
No, not as much, because I'm just preparing myself for events that are coming up.
Okay, well what's your favorite player or team?
Player or team? My favorite team is definitely Houston Heat. They won it 2 times in a row so far for NXL. And favorite person, probably Chad George, because he's from the area, and I got to play with him, so it was awesome. He was telling me how to play Snake, so
cool. I
look up to him for Snake playing. Well, we were supposed to go to Tennessee for Iron City Hogs, but we weren't able to do that because of some team issues we were having. So the next event that I'll be playing is the Seeds tournament, the 3-man in Ohio, and then the one after that is the D-Day with you guys, and then the one after that will be in July, and that's for EPL, which is down in Maryland. So, and then I don't know what's after that. We haven't really planned forward.
But do you look forward to them?
Yes, I do look forward to them.
You're just naming what's coming up. You're not telling me if you're excited about them.
Sorry, I forgot about
Has
that.
to be excited about D-Day.
I am excited about D-Day. Not really. I have in the past, but only for like 2 games, and I practiced, and I don't have the right equipment for it. My GoPro's messing up, but soon, hopefully, I'll have a mass cam, so whenever I'm playing, people can see what goes on. But
Do you want to do that for your own good, or do you want other people to see how good you are?
just for my own good, to see like where I'm messing up, where I need to fix, and just to see different like shooting angles, and just watch myself be good, I guess.
The ones that you have recorded, have they helped you?
Not really, because I had the GoPro facing me for some reason, and I don't know why. It didn't really help. The best scenario, you're gonna hate this one, but the one game that I played against you for the first 2, and then I switched over.
Courier's Revenge?
Yeah, Courier's Revenge. That was a real fun one. 1, because it was freezing cold and everybody was complaining, and I thought it was hilarious. 2, the paint was not shooting at all for the first like couple games, so half the time I had my gun like at the respawn area, and I was running around being a hooligan, and you guys were trying to shoot me, and I didn't get me. And then I switched over to with you guys, and after that we were just killing objectives, and my buddy Zeth was with me, and we were all just hanging out, having a good time. There's a bunch of pictures of that I still have on my phone.
There are many pictures.
Yeah, it was sick.
And what's the worst scenario you've ever been to?
I haven't really had a bad scenario. I had a bad tournament.
Okay, what was the worst tournament?
So the worst tournament that I've been to so far was the first MSXL, because 1, it was 40 degrees out, windy, and it was pouring down rain. So every field was flooded and just sliding in cold water, just sucks, and I was shivering so bad my back was hurting, and I couldn't feel my feet, my legs, and it was just miserable. Like, I enjoyed being there.
Was it worse than the one we did? The 2-man?
No. Because it wasn't raining or anything.
So the 2-man was better, even
Yeah.
though we did terribly.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
We didn't do too bad.
We came in 4th out of 4. So along those same lines, it would be, what is the best and what is the worst memories in general that you have of playing paintball?
I don't know.
Meeting me, of course.
Yeah. I have a lot of good memories. Can I just say like a bunch of good memories?
Sure.
So a bunch of the best memories I've had is definitely meeting you guys, because I was kind of new whenever I started reffing there at 3 Rivers, and I saw Tyler talking to you all the time, and so I figured, if Tyler talks to them, maybe they'll start to know me. And then whenever I reffed you guys, and A-Dog was like, "You're not Tyler, I don't like you." I'm like, okay. And that was a good memory, because at first I'm like, why? Like, I'm not Tyler, but I'm still good.
But now you're ahead of Tyler.
Yeah, by a long shot.
By a long shot, yeah.
That was definitely a fun time whenever you kept saying, "I'm not Tyler." I get it, I'm not Tyler, but I will definitely show you a better. But another good memory was the last event that you guys did. What was that? That was D-Day for Mayon. Whenever even though I was reffing, I still had a fun time, because I was just walking around, just watching everybody. And it was that one video you tagged me in with the one guy that ran out of paintballs, and I was just having fun, just enjoying my time. And I was picking like one paintball off the ground, throwing it in his hopper, and he kept laughing about it. And then I threw 3 in there, and he put a video up, and it was just hilarious. And that was
SAS.
That was.
It was Slaughterhouse Paintball.
Slaughterhouse,
yeah.
SAS.
Yeah, that was a good time, because everybody was having a ball, even though the Americans started getting upset because you guys were completely slaughtering them. The worst was definitely the MSXL, because it was so cold, it was so much rain, and we got murked on pretty hard, because we were all tired of shivering and all that. But after the event was a good time. I passed out on the floor. I do, not as much as I used to, because I'm so busy with my actual career and helping my dad and all that, so I don't have enough time to ref, so I'm kind of out. Like, I'm not in the rhythm of reffing anymore, but I want to get back into it, because it's just fun showing people how to play paintball and just enjoying just walking around outside and being in helping a sport that I like. So I do enjoy reffing a lot.
Is that what made you decide to become a ref, or did you just need money?
No, it was actually I had my career, so whenever I got the job, I wanted to ref paintball so bad because I wanted to just be in a sport, like help out with a sport that I loved. So like putting back my time into the sport. And then after maybe like a couple weeks, I really enjoyed it. I was like, yeah, this is the best job that I've had so far, because my other jobs are just careers, so they're not as fun as watching people shoot each other. The funniest ref story that I have is there was this, I don't know if they were college kids that worked at a bar, but they came there, and they were kind of turned up, but there was a lot of girls on my side, and my brother was reffing the other side. It was all guys, so the girls, they're like, oh, we have to pee and all that, and they're like, do you care where we go? I'm like, I don't care, we're in the woods, do whatever. I won't watch, I won't mind watching, but go ahead. And that was just funny because they didn't care. Like, there was people all over the place, and they're like, okay, go ahead, whatever. I wouldn't say traumatic, but it was crazy. We had it was a little kid's birthday party, and I was a little skeptical of what would happen, because they were so young. I think the youngest was like 7. So we're playing a game, and it was on the castle field. And I'm walking around just making sure everybody has their mask on and everything's going well. So as I'm walking around, all of a sudden I hear this like screaming, like bloody scream. I'm like, what the heck happened? So I'm running over, and this kid's taking off his mask and got shot right here in the neck. And I was worried about his throat closing because he was kind of close to the other person. So I picked him up and I carried him all the way off the field to who I thought was his parents, but wasn't his parents. And then whenever the game was done, I asked the guy, it's like, oh, is your son okay? He's like, oh, he's not even our son. I'm like, well, is he okay? He's like, oh, yeah, he's fine. I'm like, all right. So that was kind of a bad moment with those kids because it was just mayhem. Kids getting hurt all the time. And the best thing about being a ref is definitely the perks. So I get free entry, free air, and half off paintballs. And just my connections with the paintball community. So I'm meeting like all kinds of different people that have been in the sport for a while. So I'm like learning things. I'm seeing different things. Like I'm really into like the old paintball, like back in the 90s and the early 2000s, like the old mechanical days. And I'm meeting a lot of older people that have played it, and they tell me all these stories, and it's very interesting. The worst part about being a ref is always yelling at people. Like, half the time I lose my voice at the end of the day because, 1, they don't keep their masks on, 2, they don't put their barrel covers on, and 3, people are just morons.
Well, what kind of gear do you use?
I have Empire paints. They're the 0 contacts, and they have like some foam stuff for the knees and some protection for the family jewels, and then they have like a lot of pockets for like having your barrel cover in, and having like squeegees in your back pocket so if you break a ball you can clean it. A Rosa Light jersey, so I like wearing the jerseys because they have aerators or breathable material on the side because I sweat a lot, so I need that ventilation. I have all kind of masks. I got JT masks. I have 2 dye masks, dye I4s, 2 grills, and I wear baseball cleats because they have the spikes on the toes. So when you're running, you can grip more. I used to wear soccer cleats, but they don't have the toes. So I found that baseball cleats help a lot more since I'm on the turf a lot. Yeah, definitely for traction. Even when I'm reffing, I wear cleats, but I wear my soccer cleats because I don't, use my toe cleats as much. But it definitely helps for a lot of traction because half the time you're either in dirt, mud, or on grass or turf.
A lot of people say they would prefer boots. Like Luke absolutely uses his army boots every time.
Well, I mean, it could be a personal preference, but in my opinion, boots are too heavy. Like, if you want to move quick, you want light material and light stuff. Because whatever slows you down, one, you'll get fatigued faster, and you won't be as fast. So everything I have is lightweight to a certain extent.
Now, if you look behind you, you can see I have quite the collection of guns.
Yes.
I know you have a collection yourself.
Yes.
How many do you have?
I have a Shocker NXT. I have a G-Tech 160R, which is my main gun that I use right now. I have a GO2, Planet Eclipse GO2, that I just broke last night. And what else do I have? I have a WPG pump. It used to be an autococker, and I converted it to a pump. What else do I have? I have a Dangerous Power Revy, and I am in the process of fully rebuilding a Dye MT11. That's the Vampire Edition.
And which one's your favorite?
The GO2.
GO2?
Yeah.
For everything, or specifically for Speedball?
For everything.
For everything?
Just with how smooth it shoots, and that was the gun that I was using whenever I really got into the sport. Like, practice a lot, and a lot of events, a lot of scenarios. That was the gun that I mainly used, so I'm attached to that one, and I can't get rid of it because it would tear me apart. And I still have my Tippmann 98 from when I first really started back in 2014. The mask that I mainly use now is my V-Force grills. I use that a lot because just it protects my neckline, or not my neckline, my jawline. And like my I4s, I like my I4s because I could see a lot more because the lens was a lot bigger, but it didn't come past my chin. So I kept getting shot in the chin and in my jaw. And I just was tired of it. So then I bought a V-Force grill, and I put stickers on it and made it look a lot better than just stock.
So here's the good one. What made you decide to join Dunedain?
Because you guys are awesome. Because of A-Dog. She forced me into your team.
She forced you in? What does that mean?
She guilt-tripped me.
Guilt-tripped you?
Yeah.
How'd she do that?
She's like, why aren't you on Germans? Why are you American? I'm like, well, I wanted to do the beach. And then she's like, well, you gotta be on our team. I'm like, okay, fine. So then I joined your team, and then I figured out how cool you guys were. So then I stayed.
No, I remember a few, 2 weeks after D-Day, you sent me a video of yourself.
Yeah.
Did you just want me to put that on, or was that truly your tryout?
That was my tryout.
So you did want to join at that point?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I never actually knew the answer to that.
Yeah.
How about the Hogs? Iron City Hogs.
What about them?
How'd you get hooked up with them?
From you.
Well, I know that. They don't.
So, Iron City Hogs, they messaged Dan, and they were asking if any of us played Speedball. And because they saw me and Dan playing Speedball for NXL 2v2. And I mean, we did alright. We didn't do the best because we were just new. We were just having a good time. So I messaged the guy that put the team together. So we started talking, and I went to one practice, and it was, I can't even remember. I just remember it being cold out and there was ice everywhere. I'm like, why the hell are we playing in the snow? Because it was different to me. Because I'm so used to not playing paintball until it warms up. But they practice every Sunday. So now I'm doing a lot of practices and all that, but I'll get to that. But after I was talking to him for a while, I've been such a fan of Speedball. Like I said earlier, I like the faster pace and just being able to yell out bunker calls and just shooting a lot of paint and all that. So after a couple practices with them, I was like, yeah, I could do this and go to events with them and just have a good time. So, like I said, I get the best of both worlds. With Iron City Hogs, we have Speedball. With Dunedain, we have Woodsball, and I like both. I just like playing paintball, that is. So whenever I get tired of Speedball, I'll do Woodsball. Whenever I get tired of playing Woodsball, I'll do more Speedball. So we practice every Sunday and Wednesday. Practice on Sundays we run a lot of points, which is just like games, so we call them points. And it's against different teams in the Pittsburgh area, like the Mercenaries. We just do a lot of gameplay there, and we kind of change up our lines and figure out what's working out for us. So Whenever we come to like different events, we can figure out what to do. And then on Wednesday, we're just kind of honing in our skills of snap shooting. For me, snake plane, so crawling, coming up out of my bunkers real low. Lots of sprinting, lots of slides, lots of dives, running and gunning, just the normal speedball stuff. So sometimes I'll go in my dad's woods and I'll like train myself to get smaller into like, because sometimes there's just a tree to hide behind, or maybe because I have some tires laid out and like different things that represent woods ball. So I'll kind of practice that just so I can still have the skill of playing woods ball, because speedball has the blow up bunkers. So the blow up bunkers, they move with you, so you can like kind of push them and it'll flex with your gun. But with a tree doesn't move with your gun. So I'll practice both of that. Probably my home field will be P3 right now, which is Pittsburgh Paintball Park, because I'm there like twice a week. So I've put a lot of time into that place, and even though Three Rivers is where I ref, but I see as P3 as my main place that I play at. I gotta say, definitely Three Rivers, my favorite for just knowing the people more and having a good time there. Because whenever I'm at P3, it's more like business.
More work?
Yeah, more work. Definitely, since I've looked at skirmish a lot, definitely skirmish, and hopefully go there one day whenever I have enough money to play the D-Day. But that's definitely a place that I want to go to just to see all the fields they have. Like, that's insane that they have 50 plus fields. And I saw like pictures of the different towns and all that, and it's pretty sick, because I'm kind of a sucker for like sneaky paintball, so like going through buildings and all that and being quiet, because I'm not much of a loud person other than on the speedball course. But whenever I'm playing woods ball, I like to sneak around, and that place looks like you can do a lot of sneaking.
What do you look for on a paintball field? What makes one better than the other?
Definitely staff. Whenever the staff doesn't know what they're doing, it's kind of a turn off, because if something goes down, they know how to take care of it if the staff's good. Paint, definitely paint, because I'm very picky about my paint. If it's real dimpled, I despise playing with dimpled balls, because you can't shoot anything. It's all over the place, so you have to really guess. It makes it challenging, but it's annoying, especially when they're real oily and dimpled. That's like, I can't stand that. So whenever they have good paint, good staff, and bunkers that I can hide behind, I'll probably be living under a bridge with how expensive paintball is. But hopefully, being my whole thing is I want to be good at something. Like, I always look down on myself because I look at the bad things. So I want to be able to prove that I can do something. So definitely being better at knowing the game, and knowing. Definitely in 5 years, I want to be better at speedball. Like, be at maybe like D2 or D1.
Okay.
In 5 years.
So you want to move up the speedball ladder here.
Yeah.
You plan on going there with the Iron City Hogs, or
Yeah.
you think that you're going to get better than they are and move up?
I don't think I'll get better than them. This happened twice, and it hurt so bad. I was practicing at P3, and there was this where he folded over the turf. He had it the wrong way. So instead of it being with how you slide, the seam was on the other side, but the seam was like against you. So my gun went under the turf, and I was, just from my momentum, my gun got stuck, my hand pulled up my tank, and my tank hit me in the jaw, and I got a concussion from that the first time it happened. And then the second time it happened, I did the same thing. My gun went under the turf, and I hit my jaw. And this time I thought I broke my jaw because it hurt so bad, but it was just because from the other impact. So that was definitely my worst injury.
What hobbies do you have outside of paintball?
Motocross, BMX riding, snowboarding during the winter time, golfing whenever I need to relax, a lot of outdoor stuff. There's so much I can't even name.
So all of it.
All of it, yeah. Nicky Cuba, whenever he played, because he was awesome. He was on Infamous. He was really good at playing paintball, so I kind of look up to him and watch his old style just to kind of see what I can do. And
If you were talking to a new player, what 3 things would you tell them to do?
always square up to your bunker, because if you're not square, then you're just a circle. Play with both hands, so always switch. If you're coming out left, use your left hand. If you're coming out right, use your right hand. Snap shoot, if you can practice snap shooting, do that, because if you get in a gun battle, you don't want to be the one that's getting shot in the face. 3 don'ts, don't slide on your knees. Like double knee slide, don't do that. Oh yeah, don't run out in the open. Like if you don't have to run out in the open, don't run out in the open, because you'll just get lit up. I've seen that happen so many times. Third one is make sure your balls go into your hopper. That's a thing. Don't dump your balls on the ground.
Well, then we're on to the last question here.
Okay.
If you could only tell a new player one thing, what would it be?
Think about what you're doing before you do it. That's what I would say.
And what does that mean?
That means if you're gonna run to somewhere, make sure you think about how to get there, and make sure you check around. So like check off different bunkers. That's probably a good first starter. So you're not running around just being a chicken without your head, because then you'll get your head blown off.